Hello, everybody. This is the episode 3 podcast for the season of season to season 5 Game of Thrones. This is season 2 of Westeros. If you're catching up with us, I'm Weston.
I'm Adam.
And we had to take last week off because somebody was sicky poo.
I was so sick last week.
It sucked.
For a full week. I'm actually probably getting sick again. I got sick, and then I got better, and then I graduated, and I just abused my body for like days.
Yeah.
And then I got sick again.
Oh, man.
So,
yeah.
I mean, my chest still hurts, but I'm committed to what we're doing.
Yeah, we're in this for you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, right. This is all for you, so. But, as you can tell, episode 3 aired like a week and a half ago. So you've probably seen it, but then again, you can watch these podcasts out of order. As long as you've seen the episode that it's about, you're fine.
Right, and even if you haven't, I mean, I wouldn't recommend it, but you know, you could get insight on it before you watch it.
That's true.
Some people like spoilers.
Yeah,
I don't agree with them.
Yeah, right.
But hey, you know, to each his own.
Right.
I suppose.
So today this is Wednesday, May 6th, as we're recording.
May 6th already.
Yeah,
wow.
I know, it's crazy.
It's heat.
I know, it's hot out. It's hot in here. Well, it's because it rained and was foggy this morning, and now it's all like evaporating. It's just hot.
We're supposed to get a storm tonight.
I believe it.
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, I like sleeping during. I'm like everybody else. I like sleeping during storms.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, I should mention though, we went to Culver's today.
Yes, we have to give a big shout out to somebody.
Weston's mom.
Weston's mom. My mom's name is Jane.
And my mom's name is Jane.
Nice.
So,
If our mom started a rap group, it would be called Two Janes.
Jane squared.
We have to. All right, so
Jane, your Jane,
my mom Jane. Last episode said if we didn't swear the whole podcast, we get $20 towards buying Culver's, and we used that $20 and bought Culver's today. It was so good.
We did, and I just got to mention that I do not feel very well. I think it's because I didn't eat all day, and my immune system is shot. And Culver's is like 85% delicious, just heart cloggingness. But I'm like sweating right now.
Right.
I feel like my body is struggling to keep up.
Right.
But you know what? I'm gonna make it through, and it was worth it. It's always worth
it.
No matter how you feel, it's worth it.
Big shout out to my mom. Thank you for giving us the money for Culver's.
What?
She also has made treats for us before. If you're listening to this, you probably know the big Mayweather-Pacquiao fight was last week. She made like all the food for it. It was so nice. I just want to say thanks. We all super loved it. It was very delicious. She made a couple desserts. She made 3 dips. All of them were next level. Yeah, I know. 3 dips. So next year when they have a rematch, hit me up. We'll probably I'll have it at my place again or my parents' place. She'll make the awesome dips again. She just makes great food all the time for us, providing us with food to fuel us to talk about this. Shout out to my mom. I know she's gonna listen at some point.
Yep.
Yeah. So she'll hear this and be happy and maybe text me. I don't know.
And we're going to be famous by this time next year for our podcasting. So it's going to be in some crazy mansion. There's going to be piles and piles of just drugs everywhere.
Yep.
Like, you know, aspirin because we're all going to have headaches after getting so hungover on the food that obviously.
There's big piles of Coke everywhere. Do a Scarface breakfast every day.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. But, yeah, so without further ado, we'll get to episode 3. And before we go any further, we are going to watch and record episode 4 today. So, but I'll post both episodes probably pretty quickly. So you can go to my YouTube channel. I'll share links if you're friends with me and whatever. You'll get this. But just in case you're worried, we're not a week behind. We're going to catch up this week. Next week, if all goes well, we'll record the episode 5 podcast next Wednesday, I bet. It looks like. So we'll do it week by week again. It just seems like one of us always gets sick during the season. It's weird. Yeah. Last year I was real sick for a couple weeks.
Yeah. I haven't been sick prior to last year when I got sick at about the same time.
Yep.
I hadn't been sick for years, and now I'm just sickly. But hey, that's all right. I'm getting old, so let's jump into episode.
Let's get to episode.
Opening scene.
Opening scene. Let's do areas. I like doing
areas. Are good. Yeah.
Let's start. Let's do the one I want to start with the most.
Okay.
The wall. Go for it.
Oh God! So the wall. This actually happens towards the end of the episode, but it is so dope. We finally get to see Jon Snow just be the badass that he is. It starts off with him in a room with Stannis and Harpo and
his We're calling his squire Harpo.
The kid who shot
Yeah.
Ygritte.
Mm-hmm. We're calling his real name is Ali, but we're calling him Harpo.
He's Harpo.
He's Harpo.
I swear, he's fucking Harpo.
Yeah.
Not okay.
There's no food on the line this time.
And Shah Davos is there too to dispense his Onion Knight wisdom. But Stannis is saying, be Lord Stark, take Winterfell for your own. I'll make you because I'm king.
Mm-hmm.
And Jon Snow naturally is like, yeah, I'd love to do that, but man, I can't. I'm the Lord Commander. I took a vow.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Stannis is like, you're very honorable, just like your dad. And Jon Snow's like, oh, it's a great compliment. And Stannis is like, no, it's not. Your dad's dead. Bam.
Yeah.
So eventually Stannis leaves and Davos stays behind. He's like, he likes you. He likes me too, Justice.
Look at my fingers.
But then he actually did make a kind of a persuasive argument that the Night's Watch oath is about defending the realms of men, and how like Stannis is actually going to try to do that, whereas the other kings like Tommen is just like a little pussy.
Yeah.
And like they kind of, that would be in the realm's best interest for him to help. But Jon Snow is still like, nah, dude.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta represent my boys. So him and Harpo hear out Davos, and then he starts passing out assignments. So so he's having it's probably his first meeting and everything.
Yeah. Oh, remember Stannis says like, you have a lot of enemies. He's like, move Alistair Thorne to Eastwatch.
Yep.
And then we go to the meeting.
Yeah, go ahead. You can take this one.
Okay, the meeting. The meeting is sweet. Oh, I love it. So Jon Snow's sitting up at the high table, and he's starting to hand out these duties, and he's like, "Oh, we have to dig a new latrine. And if you don't know what a latrine is, it's what you pee in like old times." And
they didn't have toilets.
Yeah, no, just latrines. And you think he's gonna give it to like Alistair or Janos Slynt because they hate each other, but he just gives it to some ginger. He's like, "That's a good job for a ginger." Everyone laughs. Ginger laughs. Everyone loves it.
They understand. They understand how everything works.
Yeah. He's the boss. That's the fact. So then he goes, Alistair Thorne, and he praises Alistair Thorne a little bit. He says, you've been with us for a long time.
You're tough as nails.
We don't like each other, but I kind of respect you a little bit. And you think he's about to like pack him off to Eastwatch or something, but no. He goes, you're First Ranger now, and that's pretty cool. That's a pretty honorable title. Remember his uncle, Benjen Stark, at the beginning, was First Ranger.
For like 5 minutes that we knew him, yeah.
Yeah, he was so cool, too.
Yeah, he was. When I rewatched season 1 a couple of times ago, I'm like, oh, yeah, that scene did happen. Because I thought it was just a book thing. I'm like, oh, man, I'd like to see what, Benjen's like in the show.
Yeah, no, he's totally
No, he's in there. Yeah, he's in there. I was wrong.
He's totally there. I watched it last night. It was really refreshing.
Nice.
I gotta go back and watch all these original episodes again.
Like I'm saying, buy the DVDs. Worth it every time.
I gotta get those back to you because I watched them all.
You watched season 4? Okay, yeah, because Mary's almost done with school. She's gonna be mean. She's a couple episodes season 5 behind. So
she's always mean. She's probably so grumpy right now all the time.
Right. I know she had an exam today, so I wonder how that did.
I would hate to be her BF right now. She's probably just so mad.
Right, just like texting him or FaceTiming him, whatever people do nowadays. I don't know what the kids do.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They're crazy.
So yeah, he gives Alistair Thorne a pretty dope position.
That's like pretty much second in command.
That's a good one.
Yeah, you're like the battle commander of the
And then what did he assign little Janos Slynt?
Command of Greyguard.
Oh,
to go rebuild Greyguard.
Yeah, how many people live there?
No one right now. It's an abandoned castle.
So you're saying that's a pretty bad job, is what you're saying.
No, I think it's all right. I mean, it's what he deserves.
I didn't think it was that bad, but yeah,
it's like go rebuild a castle. It's your castle. Enjoy.
Like if somebody said, Weston, go build a place, but it's also rent free, and we pay for your food, and you don't have to live with a bunch of dudes you've been seeing every day for like 1,000 years.
Right.
I'd be like, okay, that's not so bad.
And you get to pick your own bros. So you can take what he wants.
No, he didn't see it like that.
Wait, no. Is it the builder who picked? No, I don't know. Who picks the 10 men? It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it doesn't
matter because he's like, no, how dare you? I was commander of
City Watch.
He's
like, Janos Slynt doesn't take this from a bastard. He doesn't. He always repeats himself like
he's like a 30s villain.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. I'm not gonna take this. See, I'm never gonna take this. Take it,
man. But then Jon Snow just gets so menacing, and
he's like, it wasn't a suggestion, bro.
He like looks at him, and he gets real quiet, and he's like, "You mistake me, sir." I don't know why he's talking like Davos.
Yeah, right.
He's like, "That wasn't a request." And if that was me, I would have been like, "All right, pack me up. Because he's very intimidating. Way more intimidating than I can be with my voice. Like, I can try. Like, right now, like, that wasn't a... I'm Davos now.
That's alright, yeah.
That wasn't a...
You have, like, Davos. 2 impressions, yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I got 3.
But,
So, Janos Slynt still doesn't do it. He's like, are you refusing to obey my command? And he's like, Janos Slynt pretty much says verbatim, you can shove the command up your bastard ass. Jon Snow keeps his cool. Everyone kind of freaks out, and he's like
the scary dad who doesn't yell, but that's like,
you never know when he's about to take the belt to you.
Yep. And he took the belt to him, and by belt I mean sword, and by butt I meant his neck.
His long claw.
Yeah. So he takes him out, and he's like, all right, well, I'm going to execute you. Like, people have to listen to my orders. Don't start this, because I'm not going to have it. He's like, wait, I'm scared. I'm sorry. I never meant that. He's like, I'm sorry. And I thought right now they were like, no, like, Jon Snow was going to show mercy. Nope, chopped off his head.
Yeah.
He waited for the most menacing time to do it. When he thought that dude, he's like, Janos was like, all right, I got out of this one.
He squealed. He was like, please, oh please, I'm scared all the time. It's like, what the fuck use are you then anyways?
Yeah, right.
And and then Stannis gives Jon Snow like a nice little quick nod.
Yeah. He's like, you gotta throw it down sometimes.
And Davos is standing behind him with his knuckly hand out. He's like, justice! Just as a reminder.
Right.
It's sweet. I love that scene.
Great. Yeah, so he's really establishing his power and his, like, don't mess with him attitude. So, yeah. But the first scene in the show, which we were stumped on, but...
it's the Arya scene.
No! Tommen and Marjorie get married.
It's the Arya scene first.
Nope. Tommen and Marjorie. It's Wikipedia says Marjorie
Wikipedia's
first.
wrong because this show starts with her sweeping the floor. I'll bet you. It starts with her sweeping the floor.
Just talk about that if you're so damn obsessed with it.
I'm not. I don't even think the scenes are that cool in this.
Whatever. Talk about it. You're up.
No, you're up.
You're up to the plate, batter.
You want to take Tom?
Here you go, Slugger.
Fuck. Okay, I guess I'll take the Arya scene. I thought the Arya scene was kind of like, it's not lame per se. But
it's way different than the book.
Yeah. Okay. So just Arya's training to become a faceless man. Right. That's pretty clear. She's in that house of black and white, and just in the books, this training takes up like 2 books. Like it's a lot of training.
They're trying to show how hard the training was.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, it's hard.
And she's kind of just breezing through it in this. But so she's like sweeping the floor endlessly in the halls of black and white, and there's people drinking out of cups and dying. She meets the waif, who's like a creepy ass chick.
Yeah.
Who like I wouldn't even want to meet the actress because she's creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
And the waif is like, "Who are you?" And Arya's like, "No one." And then the waif smacks her, and Arya goes, "Cunt!"
Yeah.
Which I thought was priceless.
Yeah.
But I mean, really, it's not a lot happens in these scenes.
No, and then
she throws away all her stuff.
Yep.
Except Needle, which she hides.
Yep. She's starting to build a new personality, which we will start to see a new person. Not even personality, a new person.
Yeah. She washes a dead dude.
Yep.
Which you'll see what they do.
You gotta do. Dudes. I mean, I've done it. So
everyone's washed a couple dead dudes.
Yeah, it's that's par for the course.
Part of growing up. You wash a couple dead men.
Yep.
Genitals and all. You get everything.
Yeah, they have to be clean when they go to the afterlife.
Underballs. It's the right thing to do.
They deserve your respect.
Bottom line.
Yep. So I think that's all we get from Arya this week. It's kind of short.
Yeah, not too much.
Well, she was not in episode 1, long in episode 2, short in episode 3.
Yep.
Now let's talk about Marjorie and Tommen. Marjorie and Tommen get married, which, gosh, I can't. Mary will tell us, or maybe you'll tell us. Did they have a wedding ceremony in the books?
Yes.
Okay, they had a ceremony, but you have to remember in the books he's like 6 years old and fat.
Yeah, he's a little plump.
Yeah. So they had a ceremony, I think, because now I remember. Tyrell's really, really wanted a ceremony just to lock down that they were gonna because they didn't want Tommen to grow up and like be of marriaging age, if you know what I mean, and be like, oh, we found this new girl, it's gonna be way better. See you, bye.
Yeah, I know. So understandable.
They locked in their position and they get married. Real for Westeros, real small wedding. They don't. It's not even outside. There's no food. There's no.
Right.
It doesn't for all the weddings in this show, it's the tamest. No. Robb Stark marrying Jane Westerling, but that wasn't her name in the show. Talisa was her name in the show?
She doesn't die in the books either.
No, they changed a lot. Screw the show. Anywho, it was a real lame wedding. Marjorie.
It's hard to poison someone at a lame wedding. Though.
That's what they're going. And they spend so much money. They spend so much money. They spend so much money. They are so poor right now.
Yeah.
So they stop spending money, and then Tommen kisses Marjorie. Definitely his first time, not her first time.
Oh yeah, no, she's kind of a kiss slut. If you know what I mean.
She likes to kiss boys like in cars. Yeah,
in carriages.
Right, like. Gosh, like, what would your grandmother think? Oh, she'd probably think it's pretty cool.
No, her grandmother was
she'd be totally cool.
Her grandmother was like, well, I snuck into this dude's room and just, like, banged him until he married me instead.
Right. Wobbly knees. Anywho.
Sweet.
So they kiss, and Cersei just looks, and she has the biggest bitch face.
Resting bitch face.
Oh, just
like hard.
staring her down.
Hard resting bitch face.
And then they cut away, and Tommen and Marjorie are doing their, They're consummating the relationship, which can't happen in the books because he's 6.
Yeah.
So
they never have sex in the books. Maybe they do later. I don't think they're ever going to get that far, though.
No, because he's, like, still 8 years old.
And plump.
And he has long curly hair, not short hair, and he loves Sir Pounce, which was nowhere to be seen in this.
He still loves his cat way more than Marjorie in the
where's
book.
Sir Pounce?
He
has the worst agent.
He does.
Yeah, he's not in any of this.
So bad. Like,
yeah.
Tommen's like breathing heavily. He's like, and Marjorie's like, oh, that's good, Tommen. Oh, yeah. Oh, because she's been there like so many
she's
times.
like, this is my first time. It's so great. Oh my God.
She's like, oh, yeah, put it in, Tommen. Oh, yeah. And Sir Pounce is like, yes, sir, ride her. I knew you had it in you, boy. Oh, Sir Pounce, thank you for your encouragement.
So Tommen finishes. He rolls over. He's like, that was great. Let's do it again. Marjorie's like, slow down, champ.
Right.
I'm going to brush my hair over here. I'm
going to brush my hair and talk veiled shit about your mom.
Yeah, right. Quick. She's like, my grandma didn't like living in Castle Rock. Highgarden was way more dope. Why did your mom move to back? No, she didn't like King's Landing. Highgarden was way too dope. Mary, don't correct me. But then she's like, wouldn't your mom like it in Castle Rock more? And he's like, she just banged me, so yep. I think she's right.
She's absolutely right.
Yes. So he goes up to his, they cut away, and then Marjorie is sitting with her gang of bitches, like Mean Girls, basically.
Yeah, the Gossip Girls.
Mm-hmm. And she was like, well, what's the record? And she's like, we could set the record. And
Tommen's like, we could set the record, we could.
And they were like, bang, 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 bang. And all the her handmaids were like,
oh yeah,
like laughing like so, I don't know, just annoying, just stupid. Anywho,
you gotta wonder if Tom and Jon snowed her.
Don't know.
Because he seems like he would be a generous but inexperienced lover. You know, he doesn't know what Jon snowing is.
Well, if Sir Pounce hasn't gone over it, he probably doesn't know how to do it.
Tommen, I have a secret for you, boy.
What happens if Jaime talks to him? He's like, Tommen, you're my nephew. And everybody's like, They're like, nephew.
Super nephew.
Yeah, super nephew.
Like,
but,
we have nothing in common.
Yeah, right. But, Marjorie was, best cat fight scene in the whole show so far. Marjorie's like, hey, how's it going, Mom? And then Cersei's like, how about you never call me that again?
Right.
And then she comes up, she goes, we're just chilling, talking about your son, doing nasty stuff to me. And Cersei's like, that's great, that's cool. I'm totally not mad at you right now.
Hey, if you want the truth, I'm actually exhausted.
Yeah, right.
He's exhausting me.
Yeah, he is like, I am tired. Like,
I'm gonna be calling you grandma soon.
Yeah,
like we've been going at.
And then Cersei, if she had a pencil in her hand, would have snapped it in two,
shoved it in both of her eyes.
And then she's like, Marjorie's like, can you get some wine? I can get some. I know it's a little early for you. I'm like, damn.
No, she's like, it's a little early in the day for us.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, like you are drunk.
Because Cersei's been hitting the bottle quite heavily.
Yeah, right.
Go home, Cersei. You're drunk.
She's got a problem with the sauce. Like, if Marjorie has a kid, they're gonna have to work on getting the kid off the bottle and Cersei off the bottle.
Yeah, the breastfeeding is not gonna work so well. I guess that's why they have wet nurses, though.
Yeah, nobody takes care of their kids in Westeros. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they just kind of like treasure them from a distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and then she's like, should I call you like Queen Mother or Queen or Sea Dog? Like, what should I?
Sea Money Millionaire.
Yeah, what should I call you? And she's like, gritting her teeth like,
she's like, whatever you want,
honey.
Honey, like, dear. I'm so happy right now.
Yeah. And then they were like, Tommen's like, he was walking in there. He's like, she's like, wow, your wife's pretty hot and all. He's like, yeah, you picked a good one. and my brother's dead. So she goes, she goes on with that, and he goes, how about you go back to Castle Rock? And she's like, there's nothing there for me. My family's here and everything. And he's like,
you should go, but I don't want to say it.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to bring this up later.
Once I grow a pair, once my balls drop, we'll discuss this. So Tommen, that's pretty much that scene.
Yeah,
that cat fight was so cool though.
Yeah, it was.
He's just like openly talking about like banging Cersei's kid. Oh, it's wonderful.
Bringing it hard.
I guess that wasn't so weird back then, but it was still pretty weird.
Right, especially when you remember that he's 6 years old in the books.
And yeah, this is a little chunky kid with a cat. It's adorable.
It is. So then we join Peter Baelish.
Peter Baelish.
He's taking Sansa to Winterfell, but on the way he stops off at the Dreadfort.
Gotta stop at the Dreadfort.
It's the worst looking castle. Remember in Monty Python, the Holy Grail, how they talk about that one lady has a castle, or that guy had a castle, he built it in a swamp. It sunk. Built another one. It burnt over, fell over, then sank in a swamp. But he built a third one. That one stood. That was the Dreadfort, because they built it in a swamp. Not any swamp, like a gross swamp.
Like the biggest, just poopiest swamp you could ever want to live in.
It's definitely the final level of a Mega Man game. That's the look it has for me. So...
It's like castle. It's just menacing. Like, it looks like, I guess, how the Dreadfort should look.
Yeah.
Kind of dreadful.
Very accurate, yeah. So, Peter Baelish he's like, Sansa, we are here. And she's like, who are you going to marry? He's like, ha, 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 it's not for me. And then she goes,
it's for you.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not marrying Roose Bolton. He's old and he killed like my brother and it sucks. And I'm not doing
most of my family.
Yeah, she's like, I don't even like him. He's like gross and he's bald and I don't even like him. He's a Tywin wannabe and I hate him.
Just a mega ew.
Yeah, she's like, I won't do it. Like, I'll kill myself. I will kill myself.
I would starve.
She'll write in her diary just a big frowny face and be like, life is hard. Oh.
She's like, I'm going to Lady Hornwood, but I'm not going to try to eat my fingers. And I won't need to be locked in a room.
And then Peter Baelish says, calm down. It's not Roose Bolton.
It's Ramsay Bolton.
She's like, is he cute?
He's like, yes, he actually acted in a very popular series called Misfits. Very famous.
She's just like, I hope he didn't cut anybody's dick off or nothing. He's like, well, actually.
And the weird thing is, like, you find out that Baelish doesn't know a lot about Ramsay.
No.
And he knows a lot about everybody. And Ramsay seems like he should be pretty notorious.
Even though he's a bastard, he should know about him.
He's like, he skins people.
Yeah.
Frequently.
And then, I mean, eventually she's going to run into Theon, and she knows who Theon is.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
They definitely know each other. So
Yeah.
I wonder how they explain that.
That's going to be a... Oh, this season's going to get heated. And you know it's different, too, so anything can happen.
We'll tell you right now. And, like, if you're reading the books, stop the show, because we'll tell you how it happens in the books.
The next episode is crazy.
Yeah.
Just wait.
But in the books, Ramsay doesn't marry Sansa. They never leave the Vale.
Yeah.
What they do is they dress up Sansa's best friend Jane Poole, and they say, "Oh, this is Arya. Marry Arya." That like Winterfell and like Dreadfort will be one. The North will be consolidated. Yeah. And then she's like, "I'm not Arya." And then they hold knife. She's like, "You better be Arya if you know what's good for you." So that's how it happens in the books. So it's not even, but in this one, they're just like, we gotta stop casting people. We're running out of money. You marry him. We're cutting you out. Middleman gone.
It's gonna work out. Okay,
yeah, we just gotta do this.
I heard George R.R. is just dropping out of the next season completely. Like he's not gonna consult. He's not gonna do. He'll probably still have input, but he's not gonna do nearly as much because he's got to finish the goddamn books.
He's getting close. I heard 2016. It's gonna happen. Wins the winter. We're gonna get it. Read it in 3 days. Be sad.
For 5 more, 6 more, 7 more years.
But we'll have the show
for another 2-3 years.
Yeah, only a couple more years of the show.
Oh,
we've talked about that so much. Nobody cares about that.
I know. So the Dreadfort, one of the first scenes in there before Sansa rides down is like a couple of flayed people being hung up, which is pretty crazy. Just to give you an idea of how crazy Ramsay is. And he's like, he's always eating when he's talking.
Yeah, he's such a dick.
He is. So he's eating with his dad, Roosey Roose. And Roose is like, we can't win the North just by being cruel. Like, we have to, don't get me wrong, I'm cruel as fuck, too, when I need to be. But he's like, you're kind of going too far. He's like, why did you kill Lord Tywin? Like, why'd you do that? He's like, he didn't pay his taxes. He's like, oh, so you had to. He's like, yep, I flayed him living. And his brother. And his wife. And then it made his son watch. And he's like, And his son, he's like, well, now they pay their taxes.
Yeah. And then they're like, you're a dick supreme, dude.
So Roose is like, you gotta be more like me. Like, mean, but more cold and calculating.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Tywin, only, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, well, Sansa shows up.
Yeah, and they're like, guess who you're going to marry? This girl. And he's like, okay. Kind of like redheads more, but I can make it work.
Yeah. He's like, damn, girl. Damn.
And then his girlfriend's like, I hate that bitch so much right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I hate him.
If you remember back, he had that one girl who helped shoot the arrow through the running girl, who's like crazy. Like women, just being crazy.
Yeah.
So that's good. That'll definitely play a part. They didn't show that for no reason.
Yeah. So they finish up in that area. We get to see our favorite show, Pod and Brienne.
Yep.
Where Brienne told the story about how she met Renly, and Renly was like the only one who was nice to her when her dad was showing her off to marry.
Right.
He was the only one. He's like, don't care about these guys. Don't cry in front of them. Just dance with me. It'll be fun. And Pod's like, duh, he like boys, though, right? And then Brienne's like, I know.
Dude, you don't gotta say it, Pod.
Yeah, she's like, I know.
You always say things.
Yeah, right.
Shut up.
Yeah. So she's like, I know you don't like girls. But she's like, he was just nice to me, and that's why I like had to do it. And he's like, but he was killed by a shadow, and he's like, a shadow that looked like Stannis Baratheon. That's what you got killed by.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, well that kind of makes sense, I guess.
And Pod was like, oh, I should mention I lost the horses again. No, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
It would be hilarious though. And she's gonna train Pod like to fight.
Yeah, because he's sick of being a squire. He's been in the squire program for like 8 years now.
What if Pod is the third head of the dragon? Like, what if George R. R. Martin just blows us all away?
So he's like, he's in the 8th year of an associate's program to be a knight. So he's got to get out of there.
He's like, do you want to be a knight? He's like, yes. Yeah. Obviously, I want to. What the fuck do you think I'm doing this for?
But so then we go to our last scene. Cross the sea, east side killers. We're throwing up gang signs. You can't see them.
East side.
So they were in the east side. Who we run into?
I'm just flipping the west side thing on its side because
it
I don't
looks
know
like
east side. And
that's I don't listen to hip hop, so
I don't. It's the hip hop.
Oh, sorry.
I don't listen to the hip hop.
You're right.
I don't listen to the hip hop.
But we go to the east side of the whole thing, and Tyrion's there. Varys is there.
Oh yeah.
Our second favorite show. He's like, I gotta get out of here. I'm sick of looking at your face. He's like, my face isn't ugly, dude. Stop talking shit.
It's a perfectly nice face.
And then Tyrion's like, I gotta get out of here. So they go to this one. They go to this brothel, and there's this whore that looks like Dany, and all the guys like her.
She's wearing like crotchless pants or like a crotchless dress. It's awesome.
But and then Tyrion goes up to a girl, and he's like, everybody likes her, and she's like, I know everybody likes her. Like, my business is down. Like, it sucks. I'm gotta like pay the bills somehow. And he's like, listen, like, I used to be rich. I'll always pay my debts. If I could have anybody in the place, it'd be you.
He literally charms her with no money.
Yeah.
He like charms a whore with no money, and he's a midget.
Yeah. And she's like, all right, well, let's get to going. But you got
let's get to going.
She's like, get to going, but you have to take a bath. And he's like, all right. He grabs her hand. And he just can't bring himself to do it. He's just like, I can't do it. He's like, it's not gonna happen.
He's got betrayed by Shay.
Yep.
It's another hooker. Like he's
a German porn star at that.
Yeah, it should be mentioned though in the book. Like he like just bangs some random girl. Like he's like mean to her. It's a lot different.
So he rejects her charms. Goes out to pee off of a high cliff or whatever, like he always does. He gets kidnapped by Jorah Mormont. He's like, I'm gonna take you to the queen. And they're like, oh, everybody thinks they're taking him to Cersei. No, don't think that.
We'll find out though.
But they don't think that.
Don't think that. It's a stupid thing to think. You're stupid if you think that.
The last scene, which we're gonna finish up on, the sparrows are getting nuts.
Oh yeah.
They go
into last scene on that last scene.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like we're forgetting something.
Well, I forgot it too. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. We suck.
So they go in the High Septon.
Yep.
Yeah. High Septon's in one of Littlefinger's brothels picking out girls, and they come in. The sparrows are like, "You're a sinner."
Oh man.
Yeah.
We gotta explain how he's role playing because it's hilarious. He's like kneeling. The High Septon's so bad. He's like Pycelle times 100.
Yeah.
Like he's kneeling like on the floor in the 7-pointed star, like in the middle of it, and he's got 7 chicks around him, all dressed up like each of the deities, like the crone, like the stranger, all that, the maiden. And the dude at the brothel who's always at the brothel, he's got like a fake beard on. He's like, who do you want to worship today? Mm-hmm. And he picks the stranger and the maiden, and the stranger's got like her hair in front of her face. Mm-hmm. I just thought that was a funny scene. Yeah. Because he's such a scumbag.
The sparrows are like, you're a sinner, we're going to make you walk in shame naked. And they were like, making him walk in shame, and he tried to put his hand over his genitals, and they're just like, they smacked his hands away, so he had to like hold his hands out. Well, he goes to small council and he's like, this is bad, like, because you're, like, shaming me and the gods don't appreciate that. Yeah. Why'd you do that?
No bueno.
Yeah. And she's like, well, we'll get to the bottom of this. And she goes to see the High Sparrow, which is the leader of, like, this fundamentalist group that are going nuts, like, / kind of militant with how they're, like, infiltrating places. And he goes up and he goes, you know, there's definitely a sickness. There's a boil. We have to lance it. It's not going to be good. Lancel... Got it.
Yeah. Think about that.
Yeah. So they have to get rid of the sickness. So
it's like a 4-hour boner.
Yeah,
it's gonna lance that bitch.
It's gonna be great. We're gonna see how this goes. Cersei's gonna use something else. She's gonna manipulate. She's gotta hold on to power. She's losing it. It's not going so good.
She's about to go crazy.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's gonna go nuts.
So that wraps up episode 3.
Remember in Qyburn and Qybur's laboratory, something moves under the sheet. So Qyburn
remember that.
Qyburn's up to something crazy.
Right. We kept it under 40 minutes. Good job.
Nice. Yeah, very succinct.
We're going to wrap this up quick because we have another episode to watch and podcast about, and I got laundry to get, so.
Next episode's going to be hard to keep short. It's crazy.
Yeah, next episode's good, so.
Stay tuned.
If you pirated the episodes, which you're fine, I don't care if you do, but if you did, episode 4 is the last one that was available to pirate, so you can be all caught up listening to podcasts and everything, although you probably watched the episode a month ago. But keep it short and sweet. This is the Weston on Westeros podcast. I'm Weston.
I am Adam. Adam is my name.
See you guys again next time.
Bye.